This video will present my design journey and reflections for the self-promotion assessment. In section 1, I will explain my self-promotion plan. Section 2 explores business communication for job search. Section 3 is all about my personal blog and its promotion. Section 4 will look at an original piece of artwork created for online marketplaces. And finally, section 5 will contain the conclusion and reflections. I'm particularly interested in design for the food and drink sector. I began by doing some basic research on job vacancies in Bath and Bristol to establish the most achievable route into the professional world. I decided a freelance business was the most attainable. I carried out primary research on local independent businesses to identify a target audience and discover the level of demand for my services. I began by researching and analysing other designers' resumes to find out what made them engaging and effective. Before beginning my own designs, I first considered what information needed to be included and how I could clearly communicate it. I created prototypes of different folded leaflets to decide the most effective way of presenting it. Once I had chosen the format, I sketched multiple layouts to establish an organised structure which presented each element in a hierarchy based on the level of importance to the viewer. Extensive experimenting and ideation followed before ending up on the final design. The leaflet contains a minimal cover with a directed message and unfolds to reveal the cover letter and paper resume, which reflects my brand identity and communicates my brand attributes and brand promise. For the video resume, I analysed my brand attributes to create an analogy that reflected my brand promise and was engaging and informative. Due to a lack of real-world experience, I created mock-up visual identities that reflected the narration to showcase my skills and creativity. I also endeavoured to convey my personality and use humour to endear myself to the viewer and present myself as friendly and approachable. I listed multiple topics that were relevant to my target audience and capable of captivating them. The chosen subject was the importance of visual identity because it is of personal interest to me and pertinent in the acquisition of clients. To reinforce the blog, I identified and visited local establishments to observe their visual aesthetic. Research was undertaken to discover how to create an effective web page to promote the blog. Considerations and sketches evolved into the final layout, which is clearly structured, has high scannability to accommodate short attention spans, and reflects my brand's visual style. Considerations for an effective cinematograph were limited by a failure to extensively explore photographic opportunities during the initial planning of the blog. The die-cut promotion leaflet in the shape of my logo uses a simple accordion pleat fold for readability and easy navigation. I listed several physical objects before settling on a tote bag. A number of considerations were made on what would be captured in the artwork, what would make it effective, and what the overall style would be. 2 illustrators were identified as a source of inspiration in Quentin Blake and Doug Jackson. I landed on the theme of Bristol because it fits with the rest of my marketing plan, where I will position myself as a local designer. A brainstorm to encapsulate Bristol led to images being collected that inspired what colours and elements to be included in the composition. A sketch was made to establish scale and layout before the final artwork was completed in a style that reflected the characteristics and culture of Bristol. The square shape of the artwork was chosen in relation to the shape of the tote bag. Research on the needs of the local independent businesses aided me in defining a client persona and creating a primary goal with a central message. I could have benefited from revisiting and tweaking my visual style before beginning the business communication designs. This would have allowed me to create a more effective outcome that better balanced creativity with the presentation of information. Consequently, too much time was spent on the paper resume, which had a knock-on effect. The video resume suffered as a result and lacks visual appeal due to lost time preventing research into learning video editing skills. Better planning and consideration would have led to more compelling visuals for the blog promotion, although the images do highlight the points being made. A race against time hindered the experimentation and development of my artwork. Stylistically, it could be more refined with a better balance of colour. In future, it would be beneficial to spend more time at the planning stage.